His assembly in Rome. Rome was a big assembly, and you had different beliefs. You have the Orthodox, what we call Orthodox today. I mean, those who keep the Torah do not believe in Yeshua. You have those who were converted, so from Orthodox, believe Yeshua, follower of Yeshua.
Yeah.
And you had those who came from the Goyim, from the nations, and follow Yeshua. 3 groups. The one who are weak in this passage,
In this chapter, okay.
in this chapter, this one who is called weak. It is one who has not faith in Yeshua. That is the one who was weak.
Okay.
The term weak, you have to research. You will see, I think it's in Galatians, Paul say, Abraham was not weak in the faith. Was not weak in the faith. This is a terminology which is used to express quelqu'un who apply his faith. So here, the problem was that in the assembly, in the synagogue, you can eat. So they went to the market and bought meat, brought it to the synagogue. This meat was not according to the Shrita, to the law of Kashrut.
What is kashrut? What is kashrut? You have to explain.
Kashrut. Kashrut.
It's a
The
Hebrew.
kashrut is how you kill an animal. We're not kosher. Okay, so they brought the meat. And those who have not Mashiach,
She was the boss.
they disregard this meat because they were scared that this meat was offered to idols. I will show you that. Okay? That is a problem here. So, and Paul is trying to make a bridge now between those who are weak and consider that this meat is not good because it has been slaughtered to offer to idols. And we will see. I will show you more. And the other one who eat because they're convinced, according to Leviticus 11 or Vayikra 11, that you can eat beef. They don't speak about pork here. They speak about the animals which are allowed by the Torah.
Yes.
Right? So now I will show you a passage. It's in Corinthians. Okay. Now I see. Corinthians 8.
Okay. 1 Corinthians 8.
8 from verse 1. You see now, it's in the same topic in the chapter 7 from 1 Corinthians. He speaks about different things. Now in the chapter 8 he go back to the food offered to idols. Okay, and he says, now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. That knowledge puff up, but charity edify. So we make balance between Dahat and Resed. If any man think that he knows anything, he knows nothing. Yet as he ought to know. But if any man love Elohim, the same is none of him. As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we speak here of animals which are regarded as clean by the Torah.
Leviticus
No,
11.
no other things. We know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is no other Elohim but one. That is Devarim 6:4, Deuteronomy 6:4. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, but to us there is but one Elohim, the Father of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Master Yeshua HaMashiach, by whom are all things, and we by him. Howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. There is not everybody has the knowledge. For some with conscience of the idol, remember Romans, unto this hour, unto this very time, eat as it has been offered to an idol, and their conscience been weak, again, is defiled. Because they don't have the faith, they eat it according to the letter. You understand? But meat commands us not to Elohim. For neither if we eat meat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. You see, it's not because I eat meat that I am better, but it's not that I am worse because I don't eat. It's the same. But take heed, lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. Same terminology. It's not because you say, myself, I eat meat,
That you are strong.
that you are strong, that you don't become a stumbling block for those who are weak. For instance, if you invited brothers and sisters to eat with you, and you know that they don't eat meat, when you prepare the food, don't prepare with meat. Because this can become a stumbling block into them. Not only that they don't eat, but their conscience, it is, what you call it, repulsive. It's repellent. You understand? So he said, no, you become a stumbling block to them that are weak. For if any man sees thee which has knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols? Now he goes to the extreme. And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish for whom Mashiach die. But when you sin, so again the brethren, and won their weak conscience, you sin against Mashiach. Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh, while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend. You see? I said, okay, if it is a problem to my brother, I will not eat. But if I am not there, in another place he say, concerning meat, when you go to somebody, we know that they don't go to goyim. Jews do not share with goyim. They go to another. But if you go to another and this one is strong in the faith and he eat meat, he say when you go there, don't ask, eat. If you go somewhere and they say, okay, I have made a beef stew, okay?
Beef stew, okay.
Stew?
Stew, right.
Beef stew. Don't ask. It's beef. Torah says you can eat beef. Don't ask. You understand? You eat.
Okay, so go back to Romans 14.
No, it's important to understand that. Because when we look the weak, and we explain, because that is a terminology is very important in this case. And this is the challenge for many because they don't know. If you look,
Okay.
we need to understand the terminology, okay? The word weak, what does it mean in the Hebrew understanding? In Romans 4, Shaul Paul is speaking about Abraham, and he says following. He says, for the promise that he should be the heir of the world, speaking of Abraham, was not to Abraham or to his seed through the Torah, but through the righteousness of faith. For if they which are of the Torah be heirs, faith is made void, and the promise made of none effect, because the Torah works wrath. For where is no Torah, there is no transgression. Therefore, it is of faith, that it might be by chesed, by grace, to the end, by chen, not by chesed, not by chen, grace, to the end, the promise might be sure to all the seed, not to that only which is of the Torah, but to that also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. It is written, I made thee a father of many nations, before him whom he believed, even Elohim, who quickened the dead and called those things which be not as though they were, who against hope believe in hope, that he might become the father of many nations, according to what which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead, when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He staggered not at the promise of Elohim through unbelief, weak and unbelief, but was strong in faith, the opposite of weak, giving glory to Elohim. We see here the terminology that weak is opposite of strong. A weak faith is the one who do not believe. The strong faith is saying that he consider the circumstances, he consider the promise of Elohim, giving glory to Elohim, and being fully persuaded that what he had promised he was also able also to perform. And therefore, it was imputed to him for righteousness. Now, it was not written for his sake alone that it was imputed to him, but for us also, to whom it shall be imputed, if we believe on him that raised up Yeshua, our Master, from the dead. So now I make a drash to explain that it is also to us. So we see here, it's very important to understand the weak and the strong. Romans 4, he explained that Abraham was not weak in the faith. So the weak in Rome were those believers who believe God, who believe the Torah, but don't believe in Yeshua. You see? So they apply the Torah according to the letter and have a problem when they see brothers eating meat which was from the market, because they don't know who slaughtered it and they didn't know if it has been offered to idols. That is the point. The point is there. Nowhere you will see in the scripture that it is forbidden to eat meat. Not even the creation, because it was not so. Okay, we don't know. We don't even know. So you can make your doctrine if you want, but that's not the way it should be. So accusing brothers.
It's not accusing.
No,
use as a doctrine. About the meat that we cannot eat meat. To base in the beginning that meat is not allowed to eat.
Where it is written that the question is very interesting. Where it is written we cannot eat meat? Where? Where? Where it is written?
From the beginning is
No, but where it is written we cannot eat meat? Nowhere. Nowhere. We have the Torah give us the law of clean and unclean.
Yeah.
Remember, clean and unclean. For instance, deer, giraffe are unclean, but we can eat them. They're unclean. You say, why? They're unclean and we can eat them? Yeah, because it has nothing to do with the consume. Clean and unclean has to do with the sacrifices. That's all. That's all. Okay? But it is written in Vayikra 11, you can eat deer, you can eat, I don't know the name in English, chicken, you can eat...
There's no chicken, you cannot find chicken.
No, but ducks, you can eat ducks because it is written in the family. Why? But they are not for sacrifice, so they are unclean.
Okay.
You understand? Because for the sacrifice you have only the bull, the cow, the lamb, the goat. These are the clean animals. Clean animal for the
sacrifice.
No other.
There's also pigeon.
Pigeon, yes. Pigeon. Okay. No other. You can tell everyone. But nowhere it is written, nowhere there is a verse, do not eat meat. Nowhere. It is a supposition because people do not understand. We know that when Adam, before sin, he was in a high level, spiritual level, spiritual level. He was in the world of Yetzirah. We are in the world of Azia.
Yeah, it was
We have spoken yesterday about that, okay? So you see the problem is people, before they want to force the idea, they have to understand the different world. Adam and Chava, before sin, they were not living in the same world we are living. They were living in a world of purity. Purity. What does it mean, purity?
light.
It's light. There was abundance of light. Here today, we become weak because of our diminution of faith. And today, we are even more weaker because the whole world has become darkness. But if we ignore that, we can make every doctrine. If you don't want to, you cannot force anybody. You don't want to eat meat, it's no problem. That's no problem. We have seen that. If you are vegan, you keep vegan. Do not make doctrine. Because if you make doctrine, you go against the Torah. That's the difference. There is nowhere in the scripture a verse that tell you, do not eat.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, finish.